Yet again, just a reminder that you guys, this is what I always lead with, you guys care more about these brands than the people that control them and are creating content based on. You just need to concede that the things that you know and love from a property standpoint are like concepts, be it DC, Marvel, Star Trek, all the video games, whatever it is. Top to bottom, they're controlled by the authoritarian left, and they're controlled by people who want to advance their own careers, and they don't give a goddamn about the lore or anything canon, anything that was established. You need to accept that, and you need to understand that. Until you understand that, you're going to keep being let down and you're going to keep being upset. Now, I want to show you yet another example, yet another franchise. We talked about the Halo series and it being DOA. Now, here's some interesting things that have happened out of this, and I'm going to read this cover from Spencer from Bounding into Comics. The red flags continue to fly for Paramount Plus upcoming Halo series. As in a recent interview, showrunner Stephen Kane has revealed that despite penning over 265 drafts of the live action adaptation, and he and the writing team did not look at or talk about the original games in any capacity. Kane revealed the Halo's writers' room proud ignorance of Master Chief's original video game outings during a recent video with Variety. Man, Variety's getting all the scoops. Given alongside various members of the production team in the series' upcoming premiere. Speaking with a trade outlet, he asserted, "We didn't look at the game. We didn't talk about the game. We talked about the characters and the world. So I never felt limited by it being a game." I'm going to give it to you in terms that you may understand. Okay? What he is saying is that they did not look into the source material in depth because that would have got in the way of their own individual creativity. Remember when I've told you guys that these guys are cocky? I've told y'all about Marvel. Y'all thought it was just going to be a Marvel DC thing. I've been telling y'all they're coming for you. If they haven't gotten to your series, your favorite series, they're going to get to that. You just give them a little bit of time. So they're just flat out admitting they didn't care. Like, I'm being brought on to do this. Remember we talked about this with even the fucking James Gunn and John Cena. Right? Fucking James Gunn told that motherfucker, don't even go read no Peacemaker fucking books. Because I don't want you to be knowledgeable. It might get in the way of what we're going to do, which is just a complete new iteration of it. Not the character at all. It's only the character and name. So you ask, why even call it Halo? Well, I've told y'all before. These guys use these brands to launch their careers off of. You see, if they have these brands, or rather didn't have them, they could tell those stories, but nobody would be as interested in it. So what they do is they say, okay, why don't we grab something that people already have interest in, and then we can tell whatever goofy fucking story within that world that may not make sense. We'll just say, oh, it's a different universe. Or it's a mantle. Master Chief is a mantle. It's a mantle. Something like that. So then they can do whatever the fuck they want and they don't have to be tied to what has existed long before they got their dirty, greasy ass hands. They're not creatives in that sense, man. Showrunner asserted that Master Chief, he's everybody. He's you. He's me. He's 6-year-old girl. He's a 15-year-old person in a different country. Whoever plays the game is him. Which is, I can understand that concept. That was kind of the reason why you didn't really ever see Master Chief's face. However, continuing on, we're going to tell a story about a man discovering his own humanity. In so doing, he's invited the audience to discover that guy's humanity too. Recalling that he wrote upwards of 265 drafts of the series' first 9 episodes. He also says, there are characters that are mentioned once in a book that I was able to give a whole backstory to, and other characters that were already well written that I just had to drop in, he said. I have to give credit to Microsoft. You can pitch them something brand new, and unless it really complicated them in terms of the canon or the values of the show, they embraced it. Well, because they don't give a shit. And if you're not going to acknowledge, of course it's going to conflict with the fucking canon when it conflicts with the fucking canon. So that's a non-point anyway. The decision to split from the story of Halo video games was further touched upon by 343 Industries head of Halo Transmedia, Kiki Wolfkill. That's a fake job, by the way. Early on, we were thinking about doing something that could tie very closely with the game. Oh, you mean make the supporters of your franchise happy? Why would you do that, Kiki Wolfkill? With your fake job, why would you do that? Why would you give people what they want? Oh, you mean to tell me you could? And that's cocky, right? Imagine being that cocky where you say, yeah, sure, we could have gave the fans what it was that they wanted. But we didn't because they cocky. He said, what we were finding was trying to verbatim stay with everything that come before wasn't serving the medium, meaning that we couldn't tell our story. We couldn't tell what we see. And this is why I said that true creativity, a lot of people are under the wrongful assumption. The show's dead on arrival. I mean, just to get that out there. But a lot of y'all are under the assumption that creativity means doing whatever the fuck you want to with a blank slate. And I disagree with that. The most creative people are the ones that are able to operate within the confines of whatever medium that is, right? Doesn't matter what it is. You operate within it, yet you're able to tell something, be it in a story or musical piece or whatever, that's new, that's fresh, that tests the boundaries per se, but it doesn't operate outside of the confines. To these weirdos, creativity means destroying every fucking thing and just doing whatever it is that you want to. That's not creativity. That's blasphemous, if anything. Certainly to the mediums that you now control. Look, guys, it's time for a parallel economy. You have to accept if it was created decades ago, it's dead. It's fucking dead. And it's being destroyed daily by people that care less about the material than you care about it. You care about that. All the lore stuff, that's stuff that you guys care about, not them. Instead, they're going to use it like they've done with virtually every major franchise that exists now. And where they take it, they may have the character look a certain way that's sort of similar, right? Have a tidbit, little jangle keys here of something that you may know and love. But ultimately, when you take everything in its context, it's just a goofy story that they wanted to tell that they knew if they told outside of this being attached to a brand that everybody knew and loved, nobody would be interested. But your ears perk up. You know, you get focused on it in the event that, well, they tie Halo, Marvel, DC, Star Wars, Star Trek to these types of things. No matter how further from those concepts, they couldn't be any further from what they actually are and what those worlds really embody. Again, guys, if they haven't got to your franchise, they're going to get to it soon enough. You just listened to a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake, which is live throughout the week at 12 p.m. Central on youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. Be sure to check out my website, ericdjuly.com, so you can stay up to date with everything it is that I'm doing. You can also become a member
and get access to a bunch of cool perks and exclusive content, which includes a social media hub where you can interact with myself and other members. It even has an app that you can get, which is now live in the Google and Apple stores.